Alright, let's dive into this brain business. Shall we? Grab a cup of coffee or tea, if that's your jam, and settle in. We're about to embark on a journey to reclaim our sanity in these, shall we say, interesting times. First things first. Let's talk about that pesky little thing called sleep. You know, that magical state where you're basically unconscious, but your brain decides to play a highlight reel of your most embarrassing moments. When death is just being shy. Yeah, that one. Here's the deal. Your sleep schedule might have gone the way of the dodo, but it's time to bring it back from extinction. I get it. When the world feels like it's gone mad, why not stay up until 3 a.m. binge watching that show you like so much? But here's the kicker. Unless you're naturally nocturnal, this is a one-way ticket to despair town. Population? You. So, step 1 in our grand plan, try to avoid getting up after noon. I know, it sounds like torture, but trust me, your brain will thank you, and if you need a reason to drag yourself out of bed, get creative. I've taken up yodeling from my balcony. The neighbors love it. Well, they actually yodel back. Mainly things like, shut the fuck, but hey, engagement is engagement, right? Now that we've got you up and at 'em before the sun sets, let's move on to step 2, picking up something new. And before you start groaning about how we should all be learning French and becoming chess grandmasters, remember that we can be forgiven for not morphing into Elon Musk overnight. But here's the thing. Finding something to keep your brain occupied is like giving it a chew toy. It keeps it from gnawing on your sanity. For me, it's been properly learning to write a great email newsletter. Link in the description if you want to check it out. And by properly, I mean actually doing the writing instead of just watching YouTube tutorials and pretending I know what I'm doing. Maybe for you it's drawing, or coding, or even Japanese kintsugi, you know, that art of fixing broken pottery with gold? The point is, there are a billion tutorials out there, and almost any skill will start paying dividends immediately. Who knows? You might emerge from this with a party trick that doesn't involve chugging beer through your nose. Now, on to step 3, and this one's a doozy. Stop reading the news all the time. I swear, I sent myself mad with this one. It's like watching a car crash in slow motion, except the car is the world and we're all inside it. Look, I'm not saying bury your head in the sand, but pleasant stories don't make for clicks and the media knows it. There are thousands of unbelievably brave folks on the front lines at all times, but you won't hear much about them compared to the doom and gloom metrics that dominate headlines. So here's the deal. Get informed, but don't get paranoid. You already know the basic advice. Check the updates periodically, maybe once in the morning, once in the evening. But for the love of all that is holy, leave it there. Your brain doesn't need a 24/7 anxiety drip. Speaking of things that aren't great for your brain, let's talk about step 4, avoiding your poison of choice. I know it's tempting to start drinking heavily and continue drinking heavily or whatever floats your boat. Instead, why not try something that's actually good for you? There are a ton of tutorials online for exercising without weights or equipment. Personally, I've gotten really into calisthenics and high-fiving the wall repeatedly. The wall is not as into it, but hey, no pain, no gain, right? Now for our final step, and this one's important. It's okay to be sad. In fact, it's more than okay, it's expected. It's tempting to reach for the usual, hey, we'll be fine rhetoric, and actually, we will be fine. But let's be real here. It's impossible to feel chipper and spring-footed the whole day, every day. It's impossible. Really. Send the world to its bedroom with only pets and limited contact and the news for company, and we're bound to have some extremely sad days. That is inevitable. But here's a thought. Treat the sadness like you would treat the pain of a broken arm. It's a symptom of living through this crazy time, not a personal failing. One rather lovely side effect of all this madness is that we're all on the same page. You don't need to give a backstory when you write to someone and tell them you're feeling blue. Chances are they're feeling it too. So write to someone, tell them you're feeling blue. I bet they'll appreciate knowing they're not alone in their pillow screaming sessions. Will it solve your problems? Probably not. Will it turn you into a beacon of mental health and stability? Unlikely. But will it help you navigate these weird times with a bit more grace and a lot less existential dread? I'd like to think so. Remember, we're all in this together. We're going to get through this, one day at a time, one small victory at a time. Whether that victory is learning a new piano piece, successfully avoiding the news for a whole day, or simply managing to put on pants before noon. celebrate it. And if all else fails, there's always yodeling. Trust me, it's therapeutic. Just ask my neighbors, they'll tell you about it, loudly, possibly with some colorful language thrown in, but hey, at least we're communicating, right? Stay safe, stay sane, and for the love of all that is holy, stay away from the news. Your brain will thank you. And so will I, because I don't want to have to write another guide like this. Once is quite enough. Thank you very much.